What's happening, people? I'm just here at this beautiful view here in Santa Cruz. I'm going to do a little presentation on the Thought Jet Pillars and go over this investigation on how it connects to the calendar and how our chakra body is being hacked into through electromagnetic biohacking. So stay tuned and grab yourself pen, paper, grab yourself a notebook actually, because you're going to need more than one sheet of paper if you plan on seriously taking notes and trying to participate in this. So enjoy this view while we get settled in here. If you're just tuning in, just getting set up here for this live here. We're going to go over some Freemason mathematics and colonization codes. And the Matrix is right on time and sending its distractors. Glad that I'm given some time to set up here. Happening. Switch this to here for a sec. welcome to my land yacht. Land vessel here. What we got going here? What's happening? Oh my gosh. We're gonna go over the Thought to Jed pillars here and get the desk set up for the Land Vessel podcast, mobile podcast. And 3 years of training building the Thought to Jed pillars back in 2022 on 8/8 and channeled the 181 on 5/19 of 2022. So back when I built these things, I had no clue what the fuck they were. Like honestly, I had no idea. I thought I did, but the message that kept coming through, that I kept trying to describe, I was misinterpreting it for years. And I left on this mission standing against colonization back on November 4th, and it was I just found the Indian removal Act of 1830 the day before I left on November 3rd, and the day that I was evicted from the home that I was renting for over 2 years. Just got evicted, and the date that they gave me the eviction on was on 10/7, and that was the date that the fucking genocide began. And that's when I was like, okay, something's fucking up, because the next day I found resolution 181, and I channeled that 181 symbol back on 5/19 of 2022, and then on 8/8 I channeled the Thought to Jed pillars connecting the Lords of the Nine from the Emerald Tablets with the 9 solfeggio tones, and then connected the calendar system to this thing. And I built that back in 2022, not knowing what the fuck it was, and yeah, I left on this mission basically to study this and build it, and I didn't fix the mistakes on the calendar until back in August of 2024, and here we are in June, summer solstice-ish of 2025, and yeah, it's been 3 years of having to really figure out what the fuck this thing is, and connecting frequency with time in the calendar is one thing, but wondering, like, who built the calendar? Christopher Clavius, this German Jesuit priest, an astronomer slash mathematician, Jesuit, a German Jesuit priest. He's the one that created the Gregorian calendar commissioned by Pope Gregory XIII, ruler of the Papal States and the head of the Roman Catholic Church. Head of the Roman Catholic Church is a very important thing to grasp here, because the Jesuits, they're a Roman Catholic military order, and they take orders from the Roman Catholic Church. That's who runs this place. And the republic for which it stands, pledging allegiance to the republic for which it stands. Holy shit, the Matrix will not shut the fuck up right now. It's like, I'm about to fucking put my head out the window and be like, everybody shut the fuck up. I'm trying to make a video here. Just kidding. But seriously, that's I have a nice guy, and then I got the person that's my warrior. Like, you can't be a peaceful warrior if you're not capable of causing harm. If you're not capable of causing harm, you're harmless. But if you're capable of causing harm and you choose peace, and you use that chip on your shoulder to authoritize the peace and honor the divine feminine, which the language, the English language, shuns the divine feminine ritualistically through the language. I'm going to show you folks this. And this is what's been the misinterpretation for the past 3 years, knowing that the greatest misconception of all time is the law of gender, and it has nothing to do with labels or sexual preference. It has nothing. There's a whole entire chapter of the law of gender, the principle of gender, in the book The Kybalion by Hermes Trismegistus and the Three Initiates. And if you read how deep they go into this law of gender, which has nothing to do with what you think it means, you'll realize that something's wrong with the education and the knowledge that we've been given. So let's get right into it here. First things first. Yeah, the Matrix. This place is usually super fucking chill and quiet, and right when I started this video, everything starts fucking going on around me to where it's fucking... It knows that I'm about to reveal what this shit is made out of. Plasma gas. Plasma is the fourth state of matter. It's either a liquid, a solid, or an ionized gas. And all these solar flares that we've been having, I think we're in the 11th, the 25th, we're in the 25th solar cycle, but every 11 years, there's some shit happening. And that number 11, your electromagnetic force, yeah, let's get into this shit. Remember that number 11, because the sun's always doing shit every 11 years. Let's show you guys some basics here. Excuse me, I just like fucking sat up after holding in a hit. Come on, camera. There we go. So, I channeled Thoth the Atlantean after reading the Emerald Tablets. That's not me, that's Scout drinking his water there. And whenever you take apart the word Thoth, which is what I did, like a sigil, Thoth, you get the halls of Menti, 5 sets of 11. T, you get 2 letters. H, you have 3. T, you get 2 lines. H, you have 3 lines. Same, so 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3, that's 10 lines, and that can be written down as 5 sets of 11. And the L11th Fibonacci is 55, and 5 times 11 equals 55. Your L11th Fibonacci, and we're using L11s, and your electromagnetic force is the L11. See that? The electromagnetic force, these are 2 opposing magnets. That's your positive and negative, and your negative and positive, and it creates the electromagnetic field. If you were to flip those forward, those rods, they're cylinders, you'd see the top end, the positive, and you'd see the negative top end of the negative, and you wouldn't see the lines anymore because you're looking straight down at those 2 bars. You see? So if you can spell the word, you can also spell the word Thoth by using +1, -1, O, +1, -1, so THOTH, it spells the word Thoth, and we're using that like a sigil, just how we take apart the word Thoth like a sigil, and it creates the halls of Menti. If this was a cylinder and you're looking straight down the pipe, that's what the top would look like, a circle. So it's showing us this different perspective. And plasma, it's the fourth state of matter. It's a liquid, a solid, or an ionized gas. And electrolytes, like bicarbonate, it's a polyatomic ionic compound, and that's what fuels our interoxidative phosphorylation. Our plasma within our body, We have 55% of our blood is plasma. And this 181 symbol here that was channeled, whenever you flip this on its side, you get the 181. And that 181 is the electromagnetic field, and 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day when we're using time. Days measure time, months measures time. And L11, like your 55th, your 11th Fibonacci 55, 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day, and L11 days equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 months equals 301 in time. Mathematically sound. So we're talking about the electromagnetic force and plasma, the fourth state of matter, being an ionized gas. The 55th octave of sound is light. Photons represent the entire spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, and they're the smallest possible particles of light. And let's see. Yes, the number L, Evan, and your L, electromagnetic force, and it looks like the number L11, right? So now let's incorporate the flower of life with this symbol that was channeled here, because this is essentially what I drew. Were 4 circles using the circles from the flower of life. And I just made a cross, and I drew those 2 lines, and I was like, you know what? That looks like a 181. It also looks like a 383, and it looks like a 1331. So I just drew that. And that was on 5/19 of 2022, your 139th day of the year, and that's Walter Russell's birthday. He believed that light was consciousness, and we're talking about the light. This is the electromagnetic force, and photons represent the entire spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, right? Photons are the smallest possible particles of light. And yeah, this was channeled on 5/19. Walter Russell, who wrote the book that he believed that light was consciousness, The Secret of Light, he was born on 5/19, and he also passed away on 5/19, and that's just a crazy fucking synchronicity. So 528 hertz is the precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum, right? Well, 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 528 hertz. And that's the 181 electromagnetic field flipped on its side. And yeah, 55 lines up with 528 on my thought. The Pillar cipher system. So this is like the guts of this thing. Whenever you take apart the word Thoth, you get the halls of Menti, and this is literally the halls of Menti. Your Kundalini, and the energy, your positive 1, your positive out, and your negative in. Your positive out and your negative in. So you're having a negative in, and that's going down as a spiral, and the positive out, where it's coming back up, and the auxiliary out, you have an auxiliary in, and you have an auxiliary out, and we manifest shit out of our asses, out of our mouths, and we manifest shit out of our eyes with our judgments and projections. And our people that are, whether human design is, they're just constant projectors, and they know everything, and all they do is project. They never fucking listen. They just talk and talk and talk, and they never fucking like listen or ask questions to like wonder what's going on with you. They just fucking, you can never tell them anything. You never like learn new shit from other people. Those are projectors, and their eyes are constantly projecting masculine energy out those motherfuckers, and there's hardly any observation of intake of analyzing knowledge. So the Thoth to Jet pillars here. So to take this even further with a 383 symbol and the 1331 and the 181, how this connects with the electromagnetic force in the calendar here. So 383 days equals 118 in time, or the date 118, January 18th, when you count the whole entire year. And 118, there's 811, and 811 minutes equals 1331 in time, connecting with this calendar cipher system. And the story of Romo saying his twin brother Remo, 181 in 44 BC on 5/9 Lemuria. 5/9 plus 5/9 equals 118. Talking about the 181.
And L mirrored and flipped. We're just going through some weird shit here. We flip L, your electromagnetic force, L11, get the number 73, and the date 73 equals 181 days remain on the calendar. So think about that. Because L11 times L11 times L11, L mirrored and flipped to 73, and L11 times L11 equals 1331, like your 1331 electromagnetic force, and the date 73 equals 181 days remain. Think about that shit. Like, seriously. Think about it. Because when we incorporate the 19 circles in the flower of life, 190 weeks equals 1331 days, and your 61 circles in the flower of life, it should go. Your 61 circles in the flower of life, and your 19 circles in the flower of life. When you mirror and flip 19, it's a 61. That's 19 upside down. So 610 in time converts to 1810 in time, like 181. There's no other around that. Like, that'll never convert to anything else but 1810. Furthermore, 610 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 1 day. That's a lot of fucking time to be recycling itself to equal that again. Whenever we're talking about the flower of life, the 61 circles in the flower of life, and 37 degrees in Freemasonry, 370 minutes equals 610 in time, and 610 in time converts to 1810 in time. And we have 37 genes of the mitochondrial genome that are responsible for oxidative phosphorylation that happens within the solar plexus that runs at 528 hertz. The precise center of the electromagnetic color spectrum. So your 19 circles in the flower of life, 190 weeks equals 1331 days, like your 1331. And let's go back to this. The solar plexus here, lining up at 55 with 528, 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days. 528 hertz and 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day, like 181. Your thought, the jet pillars, and how this lines up with the 19 circles in the flower of life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. 19 days equals, on leap year, 19 days equals 5.19% of a year. And I channeled this on slide 19. So the level of synchronicity that's happening here when we're talking about plasma and 55% of our blood is plasma, fourth state of matter. And that's a lot of fucking synchronicity to be building this foundation here with the L mirrored and flipped being 73 and the date 73 equaling 181 days, and 19 mirrored and flipped is 61, and 610 in time converts to 1810 in time. Just like your 181 symbol. And 19 circles in the flower of life, mirrored and flipped is 61, and 190 weeks equals 1331 days, like your 1331. And this is your electromagnetic force, 11 days. Your L11 Fibonacci, 55. 550 days equals 18 months and 1 day, like 181. L11 days, like your L11 Fibonacci. Your L electromagnetic force. 11 days equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. So, on these thought the jet pillars here, let's actually get into how this connects with the Lionsgate portal. 8-8, your Lionsgate portal. Leo, mirrored and flipped, is 037. There's 37 degrees in Freemasonry, and Leo, the L ion, holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in that flower of life. Leo the lion, mirrored and flipped, is 037. He holds the flower of life. There's 61 circles in that flower of life. And 370 minutes equals 610 in time, and 610 in time converts to 1810 in time, like your 181 symbol. If you stack two 101s on top of each other, it creates the 181. When 61 minutes equals 101 in time. So this connects with the Lionsgate portal, Leo the lion. The date 8-8 equaling 220 to 221 days. When the day 22 days equals 528. The date, or 22 days equals 528 hours. like 220 days. 8 equaling 220 days and 221 days. 1 hour and 81 minutes equals 221 in time. And 1 hour, 181 days equals 5 months and 28 days, like 22 days equaling $528. So see how it loop-de-loops around, goes round and round? That shit. Yeah, that number 11 is a massive, massive cycle number because this correlates with the 19 circles in the Flower of Life, and 190 minutes equals 310 in time, and 910 minutes equals 310 in time, and 91 days separates equinoxes from solstices and solstices from equinoxes, and major solar events like the last Carrington event was on 9/1, and Pluto went retrograde last year on 9/1. Yeah, this is the Thought to Jed pillar 33, 44, 55, 66. These line up with the solfeggial tones. Whenever I built this back on 8/8, I was just mirroring the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was like, who the fuck are these Lords of the Nine, and why do they start at the 3? And why does he call them the Lords of the Nine when there's only 7? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 of them. And I was like, yeah, I just had so many questions whenever I was studying this book. And then on 8/8, 2022, that's whenever I channeled this thing, and Thoth is related to the planet Mercury, and it takes the planet Mercury 88 days to travel annually around the sun, and the Lionsgate portal 8/8 literally fucking connects with the 181. I channeled that on 5/19 2022, and that was 2 months and 20 days later on 8/8. 2 months and 20 days later on 8/8, that's when I channeled the Lionsgate portal, and that date equals 220 days, like 2 months and 20 days. So watch this shit, because I connected frequency with time, and it literally proves it right here. Like, channel the 181 on 5/19, and 519 days equals 74 weeks in 1 day, like your solfeggial tone frequency in music equaling 741 hertz, 74 weeks in 1 day. Like, see how we're calculating time using musical frequency? So channel the 181 on 5/19, and 519 days equals 74 weeks in 1 day. 519 plus 222 equals 741. I channeled this on 5/19 of 2022. Just drop that 0. So 88 months. I channeled the Thought to Jed pillars on 8/8. Watch this. 8 months equals 7 years, 4 months, and 1 day. 741 hertz, like 74 weeks in 1 day. Connecting frequency with fucking time. The Gregorian calendar connecting with the Thought to Jed pillars, and this shit connecting with this whole mission of standing against colonization and the fucking genocide that's happening. Yeah. So this is all about hacking into our solar plexus, our Fibonacci, our Fib of Nochi, 55 and 528. So now that you folks see how this fucking electromagnetic force rolls, your Evan, your electromagnetic force, look at this shit. That's your fucking electromagnetic force symbol. All of these are L11 times L11 times L11 equaling 1331, and connecting with the Flower of Life. 190 weeks equals 1331 days. That's a lot of fucking time to be equaling that shit. And for 610 in time to equal 1810 in time, and 610 days to equal 1 year, 8 months in 1 day, like 181. Like, see how we're counting and fucking looking at this shit. So, whenever I left on this mission, I ended up at fucking Sutter's Mill, Coloma, where James Marshall panned the first gold and set off the California Gold Rush of 1850. And this set off the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. And the mill, that's the wheel that crushes up the ore to extract the gold. And the gold, that's an ionic compound. Your mill, your ion, and the air, that's the person entitled to the property of another person's death. In this case, the people that they genocided for Earth's resources. See that, Ray? That's your 9th solfeggial tone. And music, Re. So remember Earth's resources and the gold. We gotta follow the yellow brick road. And Remo gets slayed. The story of Remo gets slain is Trimbo the Remo in 181, 44 BC. And your 6th note, this is your 9th note. The Republic falls, and the unholy Roman Empire begins. And your 6th note is La, and that equals note A. The 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, and that equals panoramic view of the horizon. This is where the eastern horizon. If you're standing facing the south and looking to your left, that's the eastern horizon, and looking to your right, that's the western horizon where the sun sets. This is where the sun rises in the morning. And when you're standing here and looking straight up and the sun is directly above you in the middle of the day, on summer solstice, 6:21, the longest day of sunlight, which just passed, this is where the sun transits the sign of Cancer, sitting at 90 degrees square on the zodiac wheel. So the sun transiting the sign of Cancer. The sign of Cancer is 6-9, right? It's the crab, but the symbol is a 6-9. The 6 mirroring the 9 at this 90-degree masculine. So this is where the language is built from, this whole observation of Earth's axis. This is the axe, like your fugitive slave axe, your Indian removal axe, and this is your L. This is the L electromagnetic force. And when the sun is rising in the morning, the grand rising, see how the sun's halfway up? It looks like a D on its back, like vitamin D, like the solfeggio tone Re equaling 9 hertz, equaling up D. And this is the divine feminine sun. Before the sun even rises above the horizon here, we're already seeing the light. We're seeing the radiation of the sound of the light, which the sun, its frequency of the sound of the sun is 126 hertz, and that's 1 + 2 + 6 = 9, and that mirrors the summer solstice, 6:21, when the sun transits the sign of Cancer sitting at 90 degrees. And 6:21 divided by the position of Cancer, 90 degrees, equals 6.9. 690 minus 69 equals 6:21 summer solstice. Mathematically sound with this equation here. So your L is the square, the Freemason square. And when the sun is above you here, the rays are in the shape of an A. And this is where Aries would be. Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, sitting at 90 degrees. And so the A is the Freemason compass, and the L is the Freemason square, and this is where you get your alphabet, your language, your solfeggio tone La, that equals note A, your 6th note, and the 9th note is Re, and the 6 mirrors the 9 at the 90-degree masculine, which is L, and L mirrored and flipped is 73, when 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. Think about that for a second. L mirrored and flipped. When you add an E to it, it still spells L. Flip it upside down. It's the number 73. When 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time, like 73. So yeah, this is where the language is created from this monogram of observing the fucking reality. So when the sun rises from the eastern horizon and gets to here, everything mirrors and flips, because if you watch the stars at night rise from the eastern horizon, if you pick the constellation going up, the stars that are on the right and on the bottom here, when they go up here, when it gets to this point, everything's like upside down, and it flips. All the stars that are on the right and on top, or yeah, on the right and on top, they're now on the left and on the bottom once they cross this 90-degree masculine. So everything literally mirrors and flips at this 90-degree masculine. So that's why there's all this mirroring and flipping hidden within the knowledge. So I'm just trying to show you folks how they create the languages here. Because your L, your Freemason's compass and square, your A, rays, like Aries, the male war god that's claiming the whole entire wheel, starting at the 0 degrees mark. If you draw a circle around the A, it's anarchy. If you say the word revolution, it means when the people organize together to take down the ruler. What's the ruler? The 90-degree square. So 90 square equals L. L, mirrored and flipped, is the number 7. And your 7th letter is the letter G, like G here in Freemasonry. And 1540 hertz, that equals note G. Let's follow the 7s, because L mirrored and flipped equals 7, and your 90-degree square equals L, and that's your 7th letter, G. So when light passes through a crystal, it separates into 7 rays, and when light passes through our eyeballs, it separates into 7 rays. And 7 plus 7 equals 14, your 14th harmonic equaling 1540 hertz. Note G. 177 plus 77 equals 154. Let's keep this thing going. The date 77 equals 630 hertz. Well, the date 63 equals 154 days, like 154. Your 7th matic cell division, remember 7 mirrored and flipped and 7 rays and all that shit. Your 7th matic cell division equaling 128 and 57. The date, Christ boils and shit, getting 57. Christ boils and shit, the Talmud. Remember that shit, because, and remember the number 128, because the date 57 equals 128 days, like your 7th matic cell division, and 57 plus 57 equals 114. 114 minutes equals 154 in time, like the Jesuits founded in 1540. And your colonization code of the fucking century, 101 plus 1 month and 28 days, that equals 229. Alessandro Farnelli's birthday. He's the one that approved the Jesuit order, the Roman Catholic military order, colonizers. 101 plus 128 days equals 59 Lemuria, 44 BC. Ramos says his one brother Remo. 181, colonization. And 101 plus 10 months and 29 days, that equals 1129. That's the date that Resolution 181 was established, endorsed by your Grandmaster Mason, Harry Truman. And this is on leap year. 101 plus 1 month and 29 days, or 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229. That's on leap year. Alessandro Farnesi's birthday, that's when that approved the Jesuit order. On a leap year, so on a regular year, 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals the date 301. When 101 plus 59 days equals the date 301, like 59 Lemuria. And 181 minutes equals 301 in time, like 59 Lemuria, 181. And 301 days equals the day 1028, like 10 months and 28 days equaling 1129. Resolution 181 was established. Fucking seriously. So the L mirrored and flipped being the 7, the 7th letter being G, and the 7th matic cell division being 128 and all that stuff. Let's look at this L when we add the E to it, because we have these L electrolyte salts within the body. This is what fuels our oxidative phosphorylation within our solar plexus, our inner light. So when that number L, or when L is mirrored and flipped, it equals 73. L mirrored and flipped is 73, when 73 minutes equals 113 in time, and 113 mirrored and flipped, or just mirrored, equals 311. It doesn't even matter, we don't even have to mirror that, because your 3rd letter C and your 11th letter K, your Gothic Germanic rune for this, these letters, is L. And we just started with L equaling L, and you can just add the E, and it spells L. And all this mirror flipping shit that we're doing, your 3rd and 11th letter, like 11-3 or 311, the rune equals L. The English language, the labels, the alphabet, the law, enforcement, all that shit is derived from Gothic Norfolk Anglo-Saxon runes. So your pole, just your one masculine, that's the rune for ice, Isa, and it's a pole. Combine those letters, and what do you get? So worshippers of the Saturn cube. The dimensions of the cube being 2160 degrees, and 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216, and that can also be written as 6 to the third power equals 216, and the date 6-3, that equals like, it looks like 6 to the third power. That equals 154 days, like the Jesuits found in 1540. And the order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 911, and 911 equals 311 in time. That's the colonization of the sacrum, because the date 311 lines up with 44 hertz. Holy shit, what's going on? Yeah. It's fucking retardville, fucking central over here right now. So yeah, the 6 mirrors the 9 at that 90-degree masculine, which I showed you the whole sun rise in the mirror flip. 6 hours and 90 minutes equals 7:30 in time. It's 7:30. Take away the dots. It's 73. Mirrored and flipped. It's L. It's that motherfucking Freemason's compass and square. The alphabet, the language, la, language. That's the 6th solfeggio tone that equals the note A. If you draw a circle around that motherfucker, it's anarchy. If you say the word revolution, it means a circle. It's when the people are organizing down to take down the ruler. The ruler, that's the masculine. The word 9 is in feminine. See that? The word 9 is in feminine. And the word line is in masculine. Dude. Matrix is working super hard. It's like, yeah. Just try not to fucking lower my frequency with judgments right now. So your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11, how this lines up with 44 hertz in the calendar cipher system here. 3/11 lines up with 44 hertz. That's your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 3/11, and that equals 182 days after 9/11, when 9/11 minutes equals 3/11 in time. 9/11 minutes equals 3/11 in time. Your order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 9/11, and date 3/11 equals 182 days after 9/11, like your Missouri Compromise of 1820. Jewish Colonization Association on 9/11, that was later taken over by Edmund Rothschild, who he already had settlements in Ottoman Palestine in 1882. See how they use that number? 182 and 128 and 182 and 182. They fucking love those numbers. And 216, Kobe Bryant was unalived on 126, and Abraham Lincoln's mass record hanging of 38 men was on 1226. So 2 plus 1 plus 6, that equals 9. And the other colonization number that they like to use is 128 or 182. 1 plus 8 plus 2, that equals 11, like 9 and 11. 1 plus 2 plus 6 equals 9, and 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals 11, like 9/11. Like the order of the Jesuits, IXXI equals 9/11. So clever. These guys are really smart guys. And your law enforcement, your law bells, all the governments, they're all practicing this shit, just so you know. They're all in cahoots with each other. And they make it try to look like the people are fighting, when the people are just trying to live and be in peace and harmony. The government's trying to claim these labels here. The law bells, the law language, the alphabet, the A and the L. And that's the circle. This represents the revolution. Don't start a revolution. No revolting. No revolution. And the ruler is the masculine. It's a massive shunning going on with the language. See, the sixth letter, the sixth solfeggio tone is La, equaling note A, and seven plus 2 equals 9. Raise the ninth note. Running out of light here. So yeah, the Jesuit Roman Catholic Military Order, it's Leo, Law Enforcement Officer, 37 degrees in Freemasonry. We're not Freemasons. Leo mirrored flipped is 037, and Leo the lion, the L ion, the square ion, because they worship the square, an L, and it's also L as well. 37 mirrors 73, and 73 mirrored and flipped is L. Leo the L ion holds the flower of life, and there's 61 circles in the flower of life, and 370 minutes equals 610 in time, and 61 minutes equals 101 in time. 610 in time converts to 1810 in time, with your resolution 181. And from the Lahaina Maui fires, where on 8/8, where they were directing people into those fucking fires to the genocide, and 10/7, the genocide of innocent people in tents equals 61 days. Like your 61 circles in the flower of life, and resolution 181 causing the start of this genocide here. And remember the colonization numbers 128 and 821 and all those Missouri Compromise of 1820 and 182 and 128, your colonization numbers. 10/7 on leap year, that equals 281 days. Like 128 to 182 backwards. Fucking seriously. So Palestine, it looks just like Palisades. And those are the same dates. The fires in Palisades on 1/7, Palestine on 10/7, from your Palisades fires on 1/7 of 2025 to the Long Island fires on 3/8 equals 61 days. And you're getting 5/7 in the Talmud. Christ boils in shit for eternity in 5 hours and 70 minutes equals 610 in time, and 37 degrees in Freemasonry. 370 minutes equals 610 in time, like 610 in time equaling 1810 in time, and Leo, mirrored and flipped equals 37, like your 37 degrees in Freemasonry, and your law enforcement officer, Leo. Yeah, we are being fucking colonized because there's 61 circles in the flower of life, 61 minutes equaling 101, how that connects with 1810 in time, 181, 370 minutes equals 610 in time, that equals 1810 in time, 61 minutes equals 101, 101 minutes equals 141, 846 minutes equals 14.1 hours, and Leo, your law enforcement officer, 8 minutes and 46 seconds, that's the symbol for police brutality, because that's how long George Floyd was held down, and what were his last words? I can't breathe. The dimension for I can't breathe is 101, when 101 minutes equals 141 in time, and 14.1 hours equals 846 minutes, and there's a reason why that's the hallmark symbol, you know. And on 9/11, Order of the Jesuits, IXXI equaling 9/11. On 9/11, the North Tower was hit at 8:46, and your 141st prime equaling 8/11, when 8 months and 11 days equals 9/11. And from 141 to 8/11 in time equals 1830, equaling 18.5 hours, equaling 1110 minutes. Like your fugitive subject of 1850, your Indian revolt of 1830, and your Days of the Dead on 11/1. And from the Indian revolt of 1830 on 5/28, signed into law by your Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson, to the establishment of Resolution 181 on 11/29 of 1947, endorsed by your other Grandmaster Mason, President Harry Truman. That equals 1410 months. Fucking Hallmark stamps. Hallmark stamps and commemorations, just like the day that Kobe Bryant was unalived on 1/26. It's the same numbers as 1226. Like Abraham Lincoln's massacre hanging on 1226. See, 1226 and 126, those are the same numbers as the cube. And yeah, 1226, that was of 2024, when the first Jesuit Pope opened the Holy Portal door. That was the 162-year anniversary. And that was 154 days after the opening ceremony of the Olympics, where they were mocking the Last Supper. The Jesuits were founded in 1540. But yeah, back to Kobe Bryant being alive on 1/26 of 2020. To the first day of entering the year of the snake, the Black Mamba, entering the year of the snake on 1/29 of 2025. 67 people perished over runway 33. American Eagle flight from Kansas City, equaling 1,830 days, like your Indian Rule Act of 1830, signed into law by your Grandmaster Mason, President Andrew Jackson. Interestingly enough, 1830 days equals 60 weeks and 3 days, like the date 6 of 3 equaling 154 days, and the Jesuits founded in 1540. What a coincidence. And another coincidence is that the gematria for Kobe Bryant equals 67. It equals 33. Just for Kobe. Just the word Kobe equals 67, and it equals 33. But Christ was also crucified on 4/3, equaling 67 hertz, at age 33, in 33 AD, when the date 4/3 equals 3 months and 3 days. And being crucified on 4/3 when 430 minutes equals 710 in time, and your Christ oil mirrored and flipped is 710. And the date 710 lines up with 670 hertz in my calendar cipher system. And 71 minutes equals 111 in time, and 670 minutes equals 1110 in time, like 111, your holy frequency. The frequency that releases plasma endorphins. Literally fucking your Christ oil. So you're fucking... Your crown chakra here, 963 hertz, minus 111 hertz, your holy frequency, equals 852 hertz, your third eye audio, where you secrete oxytocin and melatonin and serotonin and all your different protein oils, your Christ oils. 852 hertz minus your Christ oil, 111 hertz equals 741 hertz, your throat chakra. So it literally is this whole virtual tone key. It is the Christ oil. Christ being crucified on 4/3, when 430 minutes equals 710 in time, and 71 minutes equals 111 in time, the holy frequency that releases plasma endorphins. Yeah. This Revelation 12.9, like the first day of entering the year of the snake, runway 33, 67 people perished. The huge dragon, the ancient serpent, who was called the devil and Satan, who's deceived the whole world, was thrown down to the earth, and the angels were thrown down with it, and the authority of his anointed, whatever the fuck that means. But yeah, there are little rituals of this shit. 67 people perishing over runway 33, and this was L11 days before Super Bowl 59, like Romo saying his twin brother Remo, 181 on 5-9 La Maria. And L11 days equals 3.01% of the year, like 181 minutes equaling 301 in time, 5-9 La Maria, 181. And who was playing at that Super Bowl? The Eagles in Kansas City, like American Eagle flight from Kansas City. And 67 people perishing over runway 33. Get the fuck out of here. And the date 59 days lines up with 33 hertz, and 67, date 67, date 67 equals 330 hertz. And yeah, 1,830 days to separate that shit, when 183 minutes equals 303 in time. These numbers just fucking recycle themselves, like, dramatically. Your fugitive say back to 1850, 185 minutes equals 305 in time. So 30.5 plus 30.5 equals your 61 circles in the flower of life. And that is equal to 181 and Leo and all that shit. So on 6/11 of this year, there was a man that was hung on 6/11. And that's your 162-year, that's the 162nd day of the year, like your colonization number. Kobe Bryant being alive on 126, and your massacre hanging of Abraham Lincoln's 38 men on 1226. And another thing is that on 129, when the first day of the year of the snake, that was the 162-year anniversary of Patrick Edward Connor's Bear River Massacre on the Shoshone tribe. So all this shit has been like massive colonization rituals, because 5 months and 11 days equals the date 611, like your Lemuria on 511, 181, 44 BC. So watch this shit. 611 days. What the fuck is this? $611. This guy was hung on 611. 611 days equals 1 year, 8 months, and 2 days. Like 182, the Missouri Compromise of 1820. So this number 611 fucking does some crazy colonization shit. But I'm gonna cut this video short because I'm running out of light here. My neck is fucking killing me, and yeah, I need to step back and assess myself here. Or maybe I'll just change positions here instead of giving up here. Alright. It's a little bit better. But yeah, your Missouri Compromise of 1820. So for 5 months and 11 days to equal 611, this is, yeah, here we go. June 11th, anti-ICE protests in LA. This is when they were federalized, was on 6/11, Strawberry Full Moon. And the year before, in 2024, that's when Pluto backspined into Capricorn. And the worshippers of the plutocracy, 6 months, 611 minutes equals 1011 in time. If you flip that up, it's 911, and 9 months and 11 days equals 1011. So from Pluto backspinning into Capricorn on 6/11 to Pluto going direct into Capricorn on 10/11 equals 17 weeks and 4 days. So pay attention to that number, 174. That's a solfeggial tone. 174 hertz. That's a solfeggial tone of the 9 solfeggial tones. So for 5 months, 11 days to equal 6/11, when that guy was hung in Albany, New York, a 58-year-old man. Albany, like the A and the L, the Freemason compass and square. Bunny. 511 in time equals 311 minutes. Like your Lemuria on 511. Romo Sagas Twin Brother Remo 181, 44 BC. And the date 311 lining up with 44 hertz. 511 in time equals 311 minutes. And 174 hertz, mirrored and flipped, or just mirrored, is 471. When 4 hours and 71 minutes equals 511 in time, equaling 311 minutes, like your adoption of the Confederate States Constitution on 311. 911 minutes equaling 311 in time, like your Order of the Jesuits IXXI equaling 911. And your Jewish Colonization Association on 9/11, and 3/11 equals 182 days after 9/11, like your Missouri Compromise of 1820, and the guy was hung on 6/11. They federalized the ICE agents in LA, like your Freemason compass and square, your law enforcement. Yeah, all of this colonization code, it's like all imploding on itself. So for 17 weeks and 4 days to separate 6/11 to 10/11, Pluto backspin into Capricorn to Pluto going direct in Capricorn when 6/11 minutes equals 10/11 in time, separated by 17 weeks and 4 days. The dates, major planetary events, 174. So from the Pluto going direct into Capricorn on 10/11 of 2023 to the 77-year anniversary of Israel claiming their occupation on 5/14 equals 1 year, 7 months and 4 days, equaling 83 weeks and 1 day, like 831 and 174 hertz, the holy frequency. And when you mirror that, you get 471. See that? And 47 days and 1 hour equals 1129 hours. That's when resolution 181 was established, on the date 1129. And 4 hours and 71 minutes equaling 511 in time. And 511 minutes equaling 831 in time, like 83 weeks and 1 day. See how all this thing just fucking recycles itself? So 511 in time equals 311 minutes, like your Date 311 lining up with 44 Hertz, and 511 the Lemuria, that's from 44 BC. 181. 911 minutes equals 311 in time. The date 911 plus 181 days equals the date 311. Fucking think about that shit. There, that's better. So whenever I was over here at the coroner's office, the sheriff's office, where El Dorado County Sheriff's Office was founded on 2/18 in 1850, like your fugitive subject to 1850, and L mirrored and flipped 73. So your L mirrored and flipped being 73, it's being founded on 2/18. See how their address is 471, like 4 hours and 71 minutes equaling 511 in time, and that equals 311 minutes at your Lemuria. So this is where this was founded in 1850, like the date 7-3, L mirrored and flipped, 7-3, date 7-3 equals 185 days, like the fugitive cycle to 1850, equaling 181 days remain, like 181, your resolution, 181, 911 minus 81, 911 minus 181 equals 730, 911 the date plus 181 days equals the date 311. So yeah, that's what they're founded on, 2/18, like that number 128 and 821. See, founded February 18th. That's a 218, like 128, 1850, like your fugitive subject to 1850. And James Marshall, he's the one that panned the first gold. And that's what set off the California Gold Rush of 1850 and the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. And who apprehends the fugitive? The marshal. Right? And your mill ion air, who protects the mill ion air? The Leo. The law enforcement officer. 37 degrees in Freemasonry. Mirrored and flipped is 037. Yeah, your cross, when you fold up the cross, it turns into the cube. And your Holy Cross, Santa Cruz, Saint Cross, founded on 2/18, 1850. The Holy Cross. And yeah, those, that 218, like 128. Your Missouri Compromise of 1820, 101 plus 1 month and 28 days equals 229, Alessandro Farnese's birthday. 101 plus 128 days equals 59 Lemuria, 181, 44 BC, colonization. 101 plus 10 months and 28 days equals 1129, resolution 181 was established. Colonization. Colonization codes out the ass. Your Missouri Compromise of 1820. 1280 days equals 182 weeks. These numbers recycle them. They recycle into each other using time. And your cross, your Jerusalem cross, when was this found? When was that created? Jerusalem came about, it's from the 1280s, like 128. Oh, what a surprise. Your Christ oil, Christ crucified on 4-3, 430 minutes equals 710 in time. The date 7-1 equals 182 days. And the date 311 equals 71 days equals 182 days after 9/11. See how these colonization dates, they're like using the Christ oil. And your Gittin 5-7, Christ boils in shit. 7-1 lines up with 570 hertz. The date 5-7 equals 128 days. When 1280 days equals 182 weeks. See how that recycles itself? So, what was declared on that day on leap year? Equaling 182 days after 9/11. Equaling 71 days, and their fucking biotechs, they hack into that Christ oil with those, like spiking the punch, spiking your Christ oil. So, who created the first vaccine? And that would be Edward Jenner, worshipful master Edward Jenner. Through his research, he developed an antidote for smallpox, officially the world's first vaccine. He raised a master mason and a grandmaster mason in 1802, like the Missouri Compromise of 1820, like 128, your 7th Myoxel Division, and your colonization code of the fucking century. Holy shit. Yeah, and when was he, look, these are the only numbers that they use. Besides the 9, there's 9, and there's your 11. 1 plus 2 plus 8 equals 11. There's your 9. So yeah, he started his master mason mastership in 1802, and serving in 1812 as a master of his lodge, and in 1821, 182. Those are the same numbers still. That's whenever he became a physician for King George IV. And yeah, for that to be fucking declared on 3/11, equaling 182 days after 9/11, and this motherfucker here is the one that created the first fucking. They tried to blame it on bats, and when you spell the word bats backward, it spells the word stab, and all this mirror flipping of shit. Makes you fucking wonder, huh? Especially when the Talmud says Gittin 5/7, Christ boils in shit, and the date 5/7 equals 128 days. It equals 101 hertz on my counter cipher system. And your Christ oil. So watch this, kids. The Devil's Comet, it made it pass in 2024, and it has a 71-year orbit, like your Christ oil, mirrored and flipped being a 71, and Christ was crucified on 4/3. The next day is 4/4, like 3/11, lining up with 44 hertz on the calendar cipher system, and that equaling 71 days, like your Christ oil, mirrored and flipped, and 400. Christ was crucified on 4/3. The next day is 4/4. 430 minutes equals 7:10 in time. Christ oil mirrored and flipped equals 7:10. See that? The day 3/11 lining up with 44 hertz, like the next day being 4/4, and equaling 71 days, like Christ oil mirrored being 7:10, and 430 minutes equaling 7:30 and 7:10 in time. Christ crucified on 4/3. Fucking sit with that, people. Because the Devil's Comet, having a 71-year orbit, and it made it pass by in 2024, and 2024 minus your 71-year Devil's Comet orbit equals the year 1953, when the owners of Standard Oil, the Rockefellers, changed their music frequency from 432 hertz to 44 hertz. Standard Oil, 71 years mirrored flipped, it's oil, like 3/11, fucking 71 days oil. Your Missouri Compromise, watch this, 71 Standard Oil, they turn their fucking oil byproducts capitalized into Big Pharma with your biotech spiking Christ oils. And 1953 minus your 71-year orbit, that equals the year 1882, the year that Edmund Rothschild started his settlements in Ottoman Palestine, colonization, and he would later take over the Jewish Colonization Association that was created on 9/11. When 9/11 minutes equals 3/11 in time, and the date 3/11 equals 71 days, equaling 180 days after 9/11, like a Missouri Compromise of 1820, and this guy starting his settlements in Ottoman Palestine in 1882. So 1882 minus 71-year orbit equals 1811, and 1811 minus the 71-year orbit equals the year 1740, like 174 hertz, your holy frequency. The date 710 equals 174 days remain. And remember that number 174, 1 year, 7 months, and 4 days, separating the 77-year anniversary of them claiming their independence to the year that the Pluto went direct into Capricorn on 10/11, when 9 months and 11 days equals the date 10/11. So when you guys put this shit all together here, you're gonna shit your pants, because the Matrix is pretty much fucking about to fucking break. And yeah, 1 year, 7 months, and 4 days separating their 77-year anniversary. That's actually from the start of the genocide to 5/11, the Lemuria. From 10/7, the start of the genocide, to this fucking 5/11. That equals 1 year, 7 months, and 4 days. So think about that shit. Yeah, from last year, or no, from last year on their 76-year anniversary of claiming their occupation on 5/14 of 2024 to the date 6/11 when that guy was hung, the strawberry full moon, and them federalizing the freaking ice. That equals 12 months and 29 days, equaling 1 year and 29 days. Like your Battle of Wounded Knee on 12/29, the deadliest massacre on the Lakota people, and your Battle of Wounded Knee on 1/29. Where's that at? Battle of Wounded Knee by Patrick Edward Connor, Massacre of the Shoshone Tribe on 1/29. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys a case that so this is the receipt of Resolution 181, and what was the meeting number? 128, and the code A raise. And see how they put the twins in parentheses? 181, and let's put the twins in parentheses right there. Put the A raise, your Freemason compass raise, rather than your OV raise. And 42% of the land, and that's 14,100 square kilometers, like your 141 and your 42nd prime equaling 181, and that's equal to 141. 141 minutes equals 221 in time, when 1 hour and 81 minutes equals 221 in time. And how many people voted for this thing? 33 votes, like your 33rd degree Freemason, your Grandmaster Mason, President Harry Truman. He's the one that endorsed this shit. So, yeah. I channeled the 181, and big fucking deal. Right. But it's getting late, and I'm missing out on this beautiful sunset here. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's at PAULMUNARRIZ 1177. Give me a follow and support my cause. I've literally been making this happen through the support of donations off of my Instagram. And yeah, you can follow me on Facebook as well. It's the same name minus the numbers at the end. And yeah, give me a follow and let me know that you found me off of YouTube, and that you want to learn more about the Thothajid pillars and this deciphering of the Gregorian calendar system that was created by your German Jesuit priest Christopher Clavius, and like the Illuminati founded by your former Jesuit Adam Weisenhup on 501 May 1st, Masons, Matrix. 501 in time equals 301 minutes, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. 501, the date, equals your 121st day of the year, and that's when the Illuminati were founded. L Evan times L Evan equals 121, when L mirrored and flipped is 73, and 730 minutes equals 1210 in time, like 121. And L Evan days equals 3.01% of the year, when 181 minutes equals 301 in time. And I'll leave you folks with that. Like I just said bye. So, my mind is